Good day, listeners. Welcome to the Utande Business Plug, where we discuss valuable insights which are relatable to small businesses and entrepreneurs. Today with me, I've got Kevin in the studio. My name is Rumbi, yours truly. I am the marketing manager for Utande Internet Services, but I'm going to allow Kevin to introduce himself. Welcome, Kevin.
Thank you, Rumbi. Good day, everyone. My name is Kevin Ngalonde. I'm the product manager for cloud services and VoIP at Utande Internet Services.
Thank you very much, Kevin, for joining us. I think we're going to have a very interesting discussion today. So, in the previous episodes, we've been discussing the value of cybersecurity to small businesses. And we have covered pretty much a lot on this topic. And I'm sure some of you have really benefited. But today we are taking it a step further. We want to discuss and demystify what the cloud is. There's been a lot of buzz. It's become a buzzword in a lot of conversations around ICT. So we want to really demystify and talk about what the cloud is. I know, Kevin, as I say this, you are really getting excited. But I'll just give a bit of background. As Utande, we offer ICT services to small businesses. Hence, this podcast is focusing on the SME sector. And you'd find that at the moment, the SME sector constitutes 70% of businesses in Zimbabwe, and it contributes to over 50% of the GDP. And now the SME sector employs over 60% of Zimbabwe's productive workforce. I think these are some really shocking facts, which have, obviously, we're talking about businesses that we know that are registered, but there's a whole lot more. So this 70% could actually be 80%. And a lot of the conversations that go around in SMEs is that, what do we use ICT services for? What do we need certain services for? And one of these is the cloud. So as we start, Kevin, I just want you to demystify this word. What is the cloud?
Thanks, Rombi, on that. So we are realizing that this word is more frequently being used by everyone, and most of the people do not understand what cloud is. So I'll try to make sure it's simple and clear. So what cloud is, it's a computer that's not on your premise, but it's somewhere where you're able to access it from anywhere. So it's your normal computer, your normal server, but the good part is it's not in-house, it's not in your premise. Mm-hmm. You are just able to access it from wherever it is, and also wherever you are. So that's what we call cloud. As a natural example that I can give is, if you look into the sky, you see these clouds. Mm-hmm. You get the water, etc. from them, but they are not here. But still, you can see the benefits of that. So that's the same thing with the cloud.
So in other words, we're talking about remote access, being able to access your data remotely.
Yes.
Okay.
Any software, any operating system, any file that you have for the business, if it's on the cloud, you're able to access it from anywhere.
So as a small business, what do I need the cloud for? What do I use? What do I store on the cloud? What else besides the data, the ERP? What could I need the cloud for?
So the reason why you need the cloud? Firstly, you've got, as a business, you've got applications that you use. You've got files that you use. That is your data. Mm-hmm. You also have emails, because mm-hmm. we now communicate via email. All these things, they can be stored in the cloud. So as a business, you definitely need all these things, and it will help you in times where there is disaster. Also, as an example, whenever there is something like a lockdown, you are still able to continue your business if you are at home.
Okay. I like that you mentioned lockdown. It's something that we have been experiencing for the past 2 years. And you'd find that a lot of businesses then realize the need to be online. What can I do as a business to ensure that I remain relevant in line with just being online, ICT service? How do I remain relevant in this period, in a period where there's, as you mentioned, disaster. I mean, if another wave of the pandemic was to hit, how do I remain relevant as a business?
All right. So on that, for you to remain relevant, first thing is to move your applications, your documents into the cloud.
Okay.
Why moving it to the cloud? You are ensuring that there is business continuity wherever you are. So if you are able to do your work at home, you're able to do your work in a train, you're able to do your work in a bus, even when you are in a holiday, it means business is continuing. And then another thing in terms of your data, whenever it is in the cloud provider makes sure that that data is safe and you're able to access it at any time. So it means in terms of working, you are no longer strictly on 8 to 5. Mm-hmm. You can still work 24/7, 365 days.
So are you sure, Kevin, that I can go on holiday and still be able to access my documents? Am I able to still do my work?
Exactly. That's the benefit of the cloud business. Remember, you need to make money. You need to make. There must be a revenue that's coming in, whether you are on the holiday, etc. And sometimes there are some things that need to be authorized, maybe by you as the CEO of that company. Cloud makes it easy for you because everything is actually in your fingertips.
Okay. Are you saying, you're mentioning the issue of remote and the fact that you don't need to be working on premise to store, you don't need to store your data on premise. My question is, are you saying that we've now moved away from having 10 servers on your property? Is that world now completely gone?
Yes, I can actually say that's the new normal in
Okay.
terms of technology. Having 10 servers, it means one, you've got power that needs to power those servers. So there's electricity that's actually a cost. Two, you need to maintain those servers. You need an IT guy who can come and do your updates, secure those 10 servers. As an example, if one server is costing you 2,000, and you've got 10 servers, it means you've got 20,000 that you have invested in those servers.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yes.
20,000
Yes.
just to store your data. Oh,
So
okay.
it's more than expensive. It's actually cost effective now to say, okay, that data, I put it on the cloud. And then another thing, it's hard for you to access it when it's on the premise if you want to maintain security.
Okay, you mentioned something very interesting where you said business will still continue. So if we get hit by a storm, if there's a fire, my business will still run. I think this is something that's important to know. Is that what you're saying? That my business is not affected by any single disaster that can happen?
Perfect. So as an example, with Utande Internet Services, we've got 4 data centers in Zimbabwe, and we've got presence also in South Africa. So let's say today Harare sinks and there is an earthquake, Harare is gone.
Touch wood.
Yes. But maybe you're in Mashingo, you still continue because we've got another data center in Bulawayo. If Zimbabwe sinks and it disappears from the map, your data is still safe.
Okay.
That's the good part of the cloud.
Just to remind everyone listening, that was an example. So you mentioned something about security. I think one of the things that people always ask is my data secure if it's in the cloud? What does it mean? Can anyone else access it? How does it actually work? Is it actually safe? I think that's the major question.
All right, thanks for that. It's actually more than safe. Compared when it's on premise.
So it's safest.
Yes, it's more than way safer when it's actually on the cloud. Why? We've got security engineers that are manning these data centers, that are manning these cloud. And also in Zimbabwe, we've got a Cyber Security Act that protects clients whenever there is a data breach. when there is a data breach to their service provider. So what we have done, we have invested a lot in terms of making sure there is no hacking. And for your own information, as Utande Internet Services, we have been here for the past 25 years and we have never been hacked.
I think that's good to know. That's good to know. Kevin, how does a virtual firewall work? Is that part of the security, the cloud security that you're talking about?
Exactly. So a virtual firewall is the same as your normal firewall, where you've got a gadget in your premise that's actually protecting your premise. Or a virtual firewall is actually a cloud firewall that's placed in the cloud to also protect your data. So you realize also at Utande Internet Services, we'll be having more than 5 to 6 virtual firewalls that are protecting the data to make sure. So actually, it's a virtual guard. It's not a physical guard, but a virtual guard that performs as a physical guard.
Okay, all right. That actually sounds interesting. Kevin, we've spoken about the cloud, but there's another buzzword that comes whenever we talk about the cloud. That comes with the cloud. It's Office 365. What is Office 365? I know everyone is out there wanting to get it, wanting to get installed, wanting to use it. Can you maybe explain why it would be important for a business to sign up for Office 365? What are the benefits?
Thanks, Rumbi, for that. So, Microsoft 365 is a product of Microsoft, and the good part is Utande Internet Services is also a partner of Microsoft. So what they've done if you go back, let's go back 6 to 10 years ago, you used to have your Word, your Excel, your PowerPoint, your Outlook. But these applications...
What was the one with the databases again?
Oh, yes, that was MS Access.
Yes.
So all of these applications, they would come as a package, but they could not communicate to each other. So what Microsoft has done, they've changed the whole ideology. And they've said Outlook must speak to Word. Word must speak to Excel. Excel must speak to PowerPoint. And then overall, they created what they call SharePoint, which is part of Microsoft 365. With SharePoint, it's meant for you to collaborate. As an example, in your company, you've got the finance department, you've got the marketing department, you've got the maybe the projects department. You want to do a project, and in that project, all these departments must be involved.
Okay.
Instead of the projects department to draft a document, and then afterwards they send to marketing edit, they send to the other team members, the finance, they edit, etc. You no longer do that. You just go on one platform, all of you guys. You just start to collaborate wherever you are. One is in Dubai, one is in Zimbabwe, one is in Zambia, all of them working, collaborating.
So I can see what someone else is doing at the exact same time.
Yes, it actually tells you Rumbi is typing on line number 4, and she has typed this and this and this and this. It makes it easy in terms of version control. So you have one document from one project without a lot of versions, etc. So it's meant for collaboration and also sharing in of stuff.
I think thanks for that, Kevin. I really did find out a lot today about the cloud and Office 365. I think this would bring us to the close of our episode, but we will continue in the next episode to continue to speak more about what the cloud can do for your business. So thank you for joining me today. Thank you, listeners, for your time.
Thank you, Ruby. Thank you, everyone.